Okay, so we are ready for our next build. What you notice is I'm using a different color now. I thought maybe it would be helpful to use something other than white so you could see my folds a little bit better. So I've got this orange paper that I'm going to be using. Your white paper will be fine, okay? And you should be good to go with that. So what we're going to be creating is a flapping bird. It's very similar to a crane, okay? But it does move, and we will end up with something that looks like this, okay? Now I will say the paper that you have is drawing paper, and it's not quite as flexible as this colored paper. So if it does tear a little bit here at the bottom, or you end up in it just doesn't want to flap, okay, don't worry, because I've had that happen 1,000 times. Sometimes it works, and a lot of times it works, but then sometimes it doesn't. So, but you will at least be able to get to the point where you make your bird, okay? So, and if you try again, more than likely, if you try a few times, at least one of them will work, okay? If you're really wanting it to flap. But regardless, we're going to get that bird built, okay? So here we go. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fold corner to corner. And when I do this, I want to make sure that I am lining up the corners as close as I possibly can, and I'm lining up these edges as close as I possibly can, okay? The more accurate you get it, the better it comes together, and the better chances you have of it actually flapping too, okay? So, and I always take this part of my thumbnail and just kind of go right along there and crease it, really nice, good crease, okay? So you can see my fold here. Now that I've opened it, I'm going to go ahead and do it this way as well. All right. Once again, making sure to try and line it up as best as I can before I make that crease. Okay, don't fold it until you've got it lined up. Really nice, good, strong crease. Now what you see is that I've kind of almost created like an upside down pyramid, almost like a bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over to where the top of the pyramid is facing up. And I'm just going to take and pop this inside out like that, okay? So you can see that's what it's doing right now, okay? Now, either way you hold this, okay, it doesn't matter right now. It's gonna, these folds are gonna be kind of coming up a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these folds together, okay, like this. Okay, see what I'm doing here? Make this a little bit bigger so we can see it a little better. There we go. These folds are going to come together like this, okay? And then these two corners are going to go right down here, okay? So just like that, okay? Make sure they're together, and then I'm going to fold that, and I'm going to fold this right over here, just like this, okay? And you see we've got this thing still hanging out up here. This point is going to also come right down here as well. Okay, so if it's kind of bent weird here in the corner, you can always just kind of help it out. Okay, I'm going to take this right down here to that corner, and I'm going to make that fold. Okay, so what we have here at the top is we have a point, and at the bottom all these papers open up. Okay, so that's where we're started. All right. Now the thing to remember too with origami is lots of things are symmetrical. So if you do it on one side, you're going to do it again on the opposite. So any point, if you need to, pause the video, and you can pick this back up whenever you get your next step done. Okay, so I'm going to take this edge right here, and I'm going to fold to this, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw it. I'm going to fold to that center line. Okay, just like this. You don't need to draw on yours. I'm drawing it so you can see it. See the fold. All right. You can do the same thing right here. Like so. And once again, just make a really nice crease. All right. go. And you have something that looks like this. Alright, since I've done it on this side, I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Alright, so I'm going to draw this line here again. Alright, just so you can see. You don't have to do that. I'm going to take this edge and go to that center fold, that crease right there in the middle. Okay, just like so. Once I get it lined up, then I fold it. Okay. Same thing here again. Get it lined up and then make that fold like that. So we have something that looks like a kite now. Okay. I'm going to take this top part that's triangular and I'm going to fold it down over the top edge of these kind of door flaps. I don't know what you call them, but yeah, these kind of flaps down here. So I'm going to just take this and just fold it right down like this, making sure that I keep the folds aligned. Okay, so there should be a fold right here that is lining up with that. Okay. Alright, so it's kind of bent up there now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up these little doors, and there's going to be a few layers of paper down in here. I'm going to take this top layer, okay, you see I've only got one, and then I'm going to take a finger and put it right here. There's two pieces of paper here. I'm going to put it right there and hold it, okay, and with one of these fingers I'm going to make sure that the edges down here can pop out easily. Alright, and I'm just going to take and kind of direct the paper up this way, and it's going to kind of wrap around my fingers like this. And it does, if these folds don't want to pop out, you can kind of help them like go the opposite way. Alright, but we're going to do this, and then these lines here, or these edges, are going to align with the center once again, just like this. Okay, just like that. Alright. And like I said, anytime you need to, just pause it. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this top triangle, and I'm going to bend it down this way, keeping it aligned with that center. And I'm going to go ahead and erase this because I don't need that anymore. Okay. I'm going to open these doors up. Go ahead and erase this too. Alright, and once again, I'm just going to take this top piece of paper, I'm going to hold the paper underneath, and if I need to help it down there in the corners, I can help it down there. Alright, and I can help it right here along the edges where this paper is going to kind of flip inside out. Alright, and you can see how it folds around my fingers. That's good. We want this edge to line up with the center. Okay, and then we're just going to make sure we got good creases. Alright, good. So there we are. We have a diamond now. We're not at a bird yet, okay, but we're getting there. We've got legs on the bottom, okay, and we've got these points on the top. I'm going to show you what to do next, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here. There's two flaps over here. I'm going to take the top one, and I'm going to fold it over to the left. So this one right here is going to fold over this way. Like so. Just line it up. Make that crease. Okay, so now you can see we've got a little pocket there. Okay, I'm going to flip the whole thing over. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just take this top flap. You can see there's three now. Okay, and take the top flap, fold it over to the left like this. Make sure that these are lined up like so. And this is where we're at. We're getting closer, believe it or not. This kind of looks like a weird looking abstract fox or something. Okay, but you see there's these little pockets here. Okay, that's good. That's what you want. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to kind of turn this sideways, and I need these pockets here. And I'm going to stretch the paper a little bit. And I'm going to get this edge to to align with this edge, and then I'm going to fold it down. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go like this. And now that it's aligned like that, I'm going to go ahead and press that. And you can see how those pieces are aligned. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to put one finger in there, one finger in here, and I'm going to bend this paper. Okay, I'm not folding it yet. I'm bending it until I can get this piece aligned with that piece. Alright, so I'm not folding it yet. Watch. I'll try and get it perfectly sideways first so you can see. Alright, so now that it's aligned, I pinch it. Okay, see how I did that? Alright, we're getting closer. Getting closer. It's starting to look sort of like our bird. We're not quite there yet, but it's getting there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I use my thumb. You could use a finger, but I use my thumb because it is more comfortable for me. I'm going to take this and just bend it down here just a little bit, and I'm going to kind of invert this fold just in one spot. Okay, like that. And look at that. We are at the bird stage. Okay, your bird could be looking out, it could be looking more down. It just depends on how you want it. If you want it to look more down, just make it your fold look like it's looking down. Okay, that's kind of up to you. All right, now we're getting close. We're not quite done. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these wings, or I'm going to take, yeah, we can just do both of them. I'm going to take both the wings, fold them up like this. Okay. Both the wings folded up like this. Alright. And there's one more fold on each wing, and then we are pretty much done with this bird. Okay. I'm going to go from here, right at his booty, to his neck. Okay. And this fold, there's no guideline to follow. Alright, so it goes from here to here. So I'm just going, I always start at the back, like so. And then I just get it right to where it lines up like that. Okay, and then I flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to go from here to here. Okay, so like I said, I always start at the back and do just like that. Okay, now I'm going to lift these wings up, okay, like so. And then if you want it to sit on the table, you can see these little guys right here, these little triangles. What we can do is we can fold these out this way, okay, so just so you can see like that. You can fold those out this way. Alright, and he can sit on the table like that, nice and, yeah, that's upside down, sorry. Trying to get this to where you can see it. There you go, kinda. Alright. And then when you want to test out how he flaps, here's how we're going to do it. Okay. You got to make sure you're holding him at the right spot. Okay. And I always try and loosen him up a little bit, just kind of sort of get this thing loosened up a little to try and help it flap a little bit. Like I said, sometimes they don't flap, and that's okay. Try again and it'll probably work out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it right here where the wing meets the neck on both sides. Okay, you got to hold it right there. I'm going to go ahead and get his wings down a little bit. That kind of helps too. Okay, I'm going to take the tail, I'm going to pull it down and out that way. Gently, especially the first time, and you might hear a little tear in the paper. It might go just a little bit. Okay, let's see here if this one's going to flap, and there it goes. There we go. All right, so sometimes it might tear just a little bit right here, okay, before it wants to start flapping, and sometimes it'll tear to the point where it like one wing flaps and the other one doesn't, or you may not get any of them to flap, but I haven't quite figured that out. But there we are. That's our bird. Have fun building. Rewatch it if you have trouble. You can rebuild it as many times as you want. It does not have to flap for you to get full credit. Okay, so if you get the bird built correctly, that's the main thing. Okay, we are looking for quality though. All right, so try and get everything lined up as best as you can. All right, have fun. Let me know if you have questions. Goodbye.